Welcome to Scorched Earth and a general reading for the sign of Leo, Sun, Moon or Ascendant for the month of June. I hope you're well. Using, rather surprisingly, the Shadowscapes Tarot for you today. It's not one that I think has ever come out for Leo before, but we're going to go with it. And I have to just say, like, I'm super aggrieved that Leo is the last sign that I'm reading for, but, you know, you'll know how I choose. I don't choose which sign goes next. I'm told. I kind of knew it would be left till last. I don't know why. It was probably an extrapolation of this wait and be patient energy that we've been feeling so hard recently. So, but I'm interested to see what comes out. Quick overview. Mercury retrograde started, I think the 29th or 30th of May, and will be active until the 22nd of June. We do have a 2-week shadow period that sits either side when the energy is building and also when the energy is waning. So, you know, bear that in mind when you're working with this. The retrograde is nothing to be afraid of, but it does bring a number of issues with it. Now, you can expect things from travel delays to, you know, technological mishaps. I've certainly been experiencing a number of those of late. Where shit just stops working. Like, you just don't know why it's not working. It just doesn't play nicely with you. It's not a good time to start new projects, but it is a good time to complete things that you have already started. So if you have, you know, started, say, you know, selling your house or something like that, then exchanging contracts on that would be fine. But initiating something new and try and just wait for a little bit, hang off. If you do have to sign contracts, make sure that you double check or triple check what it is that you're committing yourself to, because you might find a bit further down the line that it's not quite what you thought it was. The major issue this month, because the retrograde is happening in Gemini season, is communication. So you may find that it is quite difficult to express exactly what you mean this month. People just take things the wrong way, or you could be talking at cross purposes with people, and it could be very difficult for people to articulate what they're trying to say to you too. So my advice is generally just to approach all communications with compassion this month and try not to leap to conclusions about anything, because you may have got the wrong end of the stick, and somebody may be getting the wrong end of the stick with you as well. So what else? There will be an extended at the end of this if the reading has resonated and you want to go a little bit deeper. The link is down in the description box. Feel free to come and join me over at Vimeo for that. So with all of that said, let's get on with this and get 3 cards for Leo, please. There's the first card. We have the Fool, but it fell in the reverse in your recent past. I'm not at all surprised to see that. Right. Excuse me. Current energy for Leo, please. Oh gosh, 3 cards come out there. We have 4. Good Lord. We've got the Devil, we've got the Knight of Swords, we've got the Page of Wands, and we've got the fucking Tower. Right, okay. Let's just leave those in there. That's fine. Pretty sure I know what that's about too. And what's coming towards Leo in June, please? There we are. The King of Pentacles. Interesting. Taurus energy. At the bottom of the deck, we've got the 10 of Cups. Now that is emotional fulfillment, not just for you, but for the people around you that are important to you. You know, it's like collective emotional fulfillment. We also have you as the King of Wands directly behind that. So that's interesting. It would certainly seem to suggest that you are the linchpin. You know, now there might be. So here's the thing. It might well be that you are incredibly frustrated with the way that you can't make things move around you. But the important part of the energy for you this month is understanding that you are the linchpin. It is about the way that you approach things that makes the difference as to whether the people around you feel like they're, you know, drowning in a well of chaos, or whether they are confident that you have got this. Right? Just bear that in mind. Which deck to clarify, please? I'm just going to go with the standard right away. All right. So we'll get some clarifiers and then we'll see what this is all about. Tell me about the Fool in reverse, please. We have the Ten of Swords and the Queen of Pentacles. Tell me about the Devil and the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands and the Tower, please. Thank you. We have the Eight of Pentacles. We have the Page of Swords. Please. And we have the Three of Wands in reverse, so we're going to get one more. Let's get one more, why not? Oh, fuck's sake, two more. Right, we have the Sun and we have the Two of Wands. Right, tell me about the King of Pentacles, please. The Chariot. Oh, I like this. This is indicating some movement here. And the Queen of Swords. So we have the Lovers at the bottom of the deck. It's the card of Gemini, but it talks about conscious co-creation, and I think that this is really important because there's been something fairly resistant about the energy that we found ourselves in and the way that we're trying to work with the energy at the moment. Like as a collective, we're trying to kind of push forwards in a direction, and there's been things that are very much right in front of us that we're not noticing. Now, I discovered last week, the week before, that because my ascendant is in Capricorn, that Saturn and Pluto are like transiting up and down that and absolutely blowing shit up in my life, right? And felt quite persecuted until I realised that, and then I was like, oh, okay, I just roll with this energy here. So if you've got Capricorn placements anywhere, that's probably something that's worth knowing. And there's something else that's going on, I can't remember, can't bring it to mind exactly, but if you've got cardinal signs anywhere in your chart, particularly in your main three, Sun, Moon and Ascendant, then you'll be affected by whatever it is that I can't bring to mind at the moment too. So it's worth bearing in mind. The cardinal signs are Libra, Capricorn, Cancer and Aries, right? So it's just worth bearing in mind. Right, I've got a shitload of cards here, which is not at all what I'd anticipated, but I mean, let's go with it because it does feel like the energy is quite entangled and kind of dense at the moment for you, Leo. So unsurprisingly, in your recent past, we have the Fool in reverse. Now, we all know what the Fool is. The Fool is this brand new spanking start that we're all absolutely chomping at the bit to get on with and isn't fucking happening, right? It's close. We can smell it. All of the signs are pointing towards the fact that it is time to move in some way, in some direction, whether you are literally physically moving house or wanting to start a new job, wanting to upend your life in some way and start on a new path. Like it's there. It really is there, and it doesn't matter how much we reach out for it. It seems to be eluding us at the moment because we've got this Fool in reverse. Now, that's not because of anything that you are doing wrong, Leo. It's because the energy that you're in at the moment is trying to teach you something, right? I say this till I'm blue in the face. There's always a lesson to be extrapolated from where you find yourself at the moment, right? And we've got the Ten of Swords on the Queen of Pentacles. Now, the Queen of Pentacles, if we just skip to that for a second, is all about the ways in which we look after ourselves, in which we nurture ourselves. Right? The Pentacles for me are energetic currency. So they are where we invest our energy at any given point. And the message of the Queen of Pentacles specifically for me is about where you invest it in yourself, where you see the value in yourself. Now, we'll kind of come to this a bit more specifically in a second when we move on to your current energy. But I came across something the other day and it rang really, really true. Good Lord. I hope my neighbours aren't going to make loads and loads of noise right the way through this. Bear with me. And that is that we're trying to write a new story with an old script. And as soon as I came across that, I was like, that's the thing. There are things that it is required from you to put down and leave in the past. Now, we're not a stranger to this kind of motion of thinking, right? We've covered this before, specifically back in 2017, 2018, as one of my clients put it poetically and beautifully. We learned to let ourselves die, right? And that was important. There is more to be left behind, but this is stuff that really does need to be left behind. Now, I know I hark back to the 6-month readings quite a lot, and as I say, I've never fucking gone back and rewatched it. I probably really should have done. The only thing that I remember about the Leo reading at all was that this 6-month period was all about the elimination of doubt in you, right? It was about really sloughing off any of the things that held you back in terms of the way that you thought about yourself, the way that you see yourself, the way that you allow other people to see you. Because what was necessary moving forwards was this absolute conviction of self. Now, what hasn't quite fallen by the wayside yet is the doubt, is the, you know, I think this last few months has really shaken most Leos because they've done so much work. Because, you know, particularly 2017, 2018 were really, really fucking hard. And everything that we were was kind of kicked down into the ground and we had to rebuild. But there are a few things, sneaky things that have remained in the psyche that we need to release. And so having this new start, presenting and feeling it there so very fucking strongly, so intuitively, and then not being able to get out and actually touch it, it's kind of, it's pointing directly at what the issue is, Leo, because what we've got is a shaking of faith in ourselves, in our path, you know, in the fact that what we need will be provided for us, you know, second guessing ourselves, doubting actually that maybe we got this wrong, you know, all of those sorts of things. It's all very well to say you have lots of faith in yourself until things get taken out of your hands and you are required to wait and sit with it. You know, that passage of time starts to bring all of those feelings to the forefront. And if you are anything like me, and I feel like I'm probably quite representative of the Leo collective. I'm a Leo stellium, so I've got a lot of this Leo energy knocking around. Then what you found is the longer time has gone on, the less and less likely it feels to you that you're ever going to be able to get to this thing that we want. Not a terribly patient sign anyway. We've learned to be more patient, learned to be more accepting, all that kind of thing, things coming in good time and all of that. But the doubt, the shaking of the faith, these are things that are here and that we're wrestling with right now. There is still a resistance to being seen. Where does that come from, Leo? You're the fucking sun. You're supposed to be seen. You have something to say and it's supposed to be heard. Are you saying it to the fullest extent? You know? There are identity issues here that are being really blown up. And like I said, particularly if you've got Capricorn in your chart somewhere, like this is kind of doubly so. Where do you nurture yourself? Where do you not nurture yourself? Where do you see your value and where do you not see your value? This is about adjusting the way that you see yourself. Now, we've got a lot of pride in how far we've come from where we were, right? And it's entirely appropriate because it was a very difficult place that we were in. But there's still that nagging voice. You know, some of you may be suffering from imposter syndrome in some things, you know. Others of you will have found that these last few months have been like wading through fucking mud, you know, trying to get through quicksand. It's just, you know, all of the effort's going in and it's fucking going nowhere. And then what comes as a result of that? There's the residue that's coming up for you to look at. There's the self-doubt, there's the shaken faith, there's all of those things. Like, the answer's been so very fucking close to our faces that we haven't been able to see it, Leo. That's what this is. So we move into your current energy, and like I said, we've got an absolute clusterfuck of cards going on here. We have the Devil, we have the Knight of Swords, we have the Page of Wands, and we have the Tower. So we've got two major arcana cards sandwiching the Knight of Wands, the Knight of Swords and the Page of Wands in here. Now the Page of Wands it's a really good card. Like, it's that excitement about the future, right? It is that kind of childlike, going to get this done, it's going to be awesome. You know, it's the excitement, it's the exuberance, it's the passion of the start of a new story, and it's being completely hamstrung. It can't go anywhere. We've got the Knight of Swords directly preceding it, you know, and we've got movement implied there by this, right? There is movement. And being swords, it is in communication, whether that is internally or externally expressed, right? It is about the way that you think. It is your thought processes, your thought patterns. It's about the way that you communicate with other people. But it's very rushed energy, you know, and we're so desperate to rush towards that thing that we're excited about that we haven't noticed the things that are tethering us behind us, with the Devil and, you know, this Tower in front of us. It's that desperate need to blow everything up so we can start properly. You know, anything's better than being stuck in this feeling of frustration that we've had for such a long time. Yeah, but the Devil is the things that bind us. It is the things that make us afraid. And a lot of this reduction in self-confidence, a lot of this, you know, doubt that's coming in. Oh, I just completely lost my train of thought there. No, it's gone. It'll come back. It'll come back for sure. Anyway, interestingly, a Capricorn card too. The Tower is Scorpio, sometimes Aries. There's a small part of your subconscious that is really struggling at the moment, Leo. Oh, power. There we go. It's your relationship with power. Now, that has changed dramatically in the last few years. You're a very different person to who you were a few years ago, and your relationship to power is also very different too. And we have felt increasingly more empowered, further emboldened, all of those kind of things, you know, as we have built from the bottom up and become who we are today. This is something quite dramatic. It really is quite dramatic, but also incredibly subtle and incredibly nuanced, right? Like I was saying, it all comes down to power. That's where the faith is getting shaken. That's where the doubt is coming in. It's all about you setting your mind to something, seeing the signs, feeling intuitively all of the things, like it's time to move, it's time to go, it's time to do all of these things, and then not being powerful enough to make it happen. How does that make you feel, Leo? Because I think it's rattled a lot of us, to be honest. This lack of direction, this lack of movement. Hang on, I am the fucking sun. Why can I not make this happen for myself? Everything is pointing me in this direction, and yet I am being thwarted. And it's bringing up this thing, are you really even as powerful as you think you are? Maybe you're not, you know. Are you even the sun? Maybe you're not, you know. It's calling into question all of these aspects of you that are residue, right? These difficult things, the residue from a previous incarnation of Leo. And it's time to scrub the decks. It's time to scrub all of this off, because what we're moving into is a new story, a completely new story. We cannot be working to the same script because it's irrelevant anymore, right? So it seems like a really difficult way, really shitty and challenging way actually, to kind of put this lesson to us. But ultimately, is it not the one that's going to make the most difference? Like, we are the fucking sun and we're all powerful as fucking shit and all that kind of thing. But everything in time, you know, when we have done the work, when we have learned the things that we've learned, you know, needed to do, we can control some things, we can't control others. You know, God give us the grace to know the difference and all that. I can't remember how that quote goes, but, you know, it's something along those lines. Something about you is trying to die, Leo. And you're simultaneously not noticing it and also resisting it, which is incredible. I'm not quite sure how we're doing that, but we are doing that. Measure of faith would be when everything is going wrong, when everything is not going to plan, when everything is leaving us feeling disempowered, and maintaining that faith anyway, you know? A measure of confidence in yourself is how long you can keep that up when suddenly you don't have the momentum that you thought you would have running up against something. I read something the other day and it really chimed with me. It's that often a mistake that Leos make is that things need to be going on well around them, right? They put all of the effort into making things work and you know, being powerful. Enacting stuff and having the drive to see it through, you know, right, all that sort of thing. And actually, it's just about being the sun. It's just about shining no matter what. And by shining, I don't mean being like a relentless beacon of positivity. That's not what I'm talking about there. I'm talking about that grace, that confidence, that, you know, the power to still continue to shine your Leo light no matter what is going on. And that speaks to something really foundational. That speaks to something right at the core of being a Leo. I accept that things are going a bit shit right now. Like, everything is literally blowing up. But it's fine, because, you know, I'm okay. The kids are okay. There's a lot of stuff going to shit. But ultimately, you are still a Leo. Whether things are good or whether things are bad, you're still a fucking Leo. We've got the Eight of Pentacles, the Page of Swords, and the Three of Wands. It's time to really get to work on your psyche, Leo, because that residue is what is stopping you from moving forwards. The doubt is stopping you from moving forwards. The inability of you to quite bring all of your light to bear, no matter what the situation, is limiting you right now. It's what's stopping you. It's what's stopping any forward motion whatsoever. It's about changing the way that you think, because the way that you're thinking at the moment is related to who you were before, and it's not who you are now. It's about learning to see yourself as other people see you. Okay? We know how we see ourselves, but there's something that we find quite tricky about navigating how other people see us. Like, and we might think that, you know, moderately entertaining, but ultimately just a bit of a fuck up sometimes. You know, that I think if there's anything that kind of sums up Leo energy, it's I think it's possibly that, you know. But the truth is, that's not how other people see you, not at all. The truth is that you're actually a guiding light for a lot of people. Not by, you know, the clothes that you wear or the car that you drive or anything like that, but just by the fact that you shine so bright. I mean, they see the way that you shine and you don't. And it's about getting in touch with that. It's about choosing to get in touch with that. You are at a crossroads now, Leo. Right? And I think that we've been there for a little while. And it's like, well, I know which fucking way I want to go. I want to go this way. But, you know, the difference is, are you gonna go along on your hands and knees down that road, or do you want this nice shiny fucking Ferrari here and we'll drive down that way, go much faster, bring it, you know, be much more efficient. It's a new version of you. There's a new mode of transport that's available to you. Are you even taking it? No. I mean, you're assuming that you've got to walk down this road, well, not even walk down, you've got to go down this road on your hands and knees, and actually that isn't the case, Leo. So we move to the final card, and it's the King of Pentacles. It's the card of Taurus. And it's fixed earth. It deals with duties and responsibilities and all that sort of thing, but it's very slow moving. It's not your energy, and it's not one that works terribly well, I think. It doesn't work terribly well with Leo energy. Well, it can do. But that slow, plodding progression is something that actually really gets on Leo's wick. Like, it's a bit boring sometimes, right? In terms of the way that we like to do things, you know, you think of Leos like big cats, which they are, you know, we tend to have spikes in energy and we do shitloads of things and then we'll kind of rest for a little bit and then we'll go, you know, that's how we like to work. It's not this steady plod all of the time. It's mind-numbing for a Leo. But unfortunately, this seems to be the mode of travel for us at the moment, until we work through what all of this is and how we, you know, relate to the world at large, how we relate to ourselves, how we choose to see how other people see us, right? Because we have to take that on board. Right? To be a Leo is to be seen. There's no getting away from that. As uncomfortable, as fucking uncomfortable as that makes us, it is part of your cosmological DNA. You have no choice in this. And so it's about doing groundwork here. It's about eliminating what is restricting you. It is eliminating what is making you doubt. It is eliminating that which, you know, takes your faith away, because you can choose to keep it. You know, it's about having a stern fucking word with your subconscious and saying, I'm not standing for this. You are part of an old story. This is the new story going forwards, you know. And we have the Chariot and we have the Queen of Swords. It's about taking a really objective, deep look at who you are. And some of that is going to involve shadow work. The Chariot is a card for me of shadow work. It is about going within. Where's your faith? Where is the faith that you have that you are protected? Where is your faith that you will be provided for no matter what? Right? It should be an expectation, because it just is what it is, you know? Where is your mindset holding you back? Where are you astonished when somebody considers you to be, you know, really good at something? Why is being seen so uncomfortable? No? Now, I know that the lazy stereotyping of Leo is that we like the limelight no matter what. And do you know what? That's bollocks. There is a subset of Leos who are like that, for sure. But I feel like the Leos that I read for are what Radiant Reality refers to as silent dignity Leos. Okay? We don't need to be the centre of attention. We don't need the limelight. We may even refer to ourselves as introverts. We certainly are almost afraid of this characterization of Leos, like afraid of ever appearing as that characterization of Leos. Maybe that's where the fear of being seen comes from. It's conforming to lazy stereotypes, in our minds at least. This is a month for taking a look at all of that and casting out what is part of the old script. Because the King of Pentacles is the card of delayed gratification. It's about planting a seed and seeing it through till it's an oak tree, you know. It's about having a plan and knowing. The funny thing is that you don't really have a plan, Leo. You don't need one. The plan is that you don't have a plan and you will be protected and everything will be great. You know? Provided you start paying attention to the bit of you that is trying to stop you from being seen. So many cards flipping here, it's absolutely ridiculous. I saw the Fool, I saw the Death card. Fucking hell, this deck's really playing up. We have the Judgment card here. Like, the energy of the retrograde is asking you to look at yourself and see what you see. It's asking you to look at yourself and see how other people see you. Take some of that on board, Leo. Like, it shouldn't dictate how you move forward. Right? We're not talking about paying attention to the judgment of other people, but rather, in fact, just like Taurus, you know, appreciating that which is magnificent in you, that you are completely oblivious to. Because that's the fuel that feeds your fire. And it's got to be self-generated. And for it to be self-generated, you actually have to fucking see it in the first place and not run away from it. We've got 2 8s, with the 8 of Cups and the 8 of Wands here. And then the Knight of Pentacles. Truly, Leo, how much do you see your own value? You don't. We've done so much work and we've come so far, and still this simple, essential fact eludes you. You are something special. You were sent here to be special. You are special. Why do you not see that? Now, you might have done a lot of work in removing those, you know, those uncomfortable bits of you, you know, out of your subconscious and into your conscious, where you can see it, process it and release it. You know, you may have done all sorts of work on childhood trauma. You may have done shitloads of work on having narcissistic parents and all that kind of thing. But ultimately, all you've done is stopped yourself projecting onto other people. That's what you've done. You've just fallen a bit short of truly appreciating the majestic fucking creature that you are. And this is the issue here. You've got to be the sun. You have to be the sun. And it's time. You know, it is time. There's a big old fucking message from the universe here that it's time to leave behind the old script. And it's karmic in nature, which chimes very fucking hard with me, the way I've got Saturn scything away on my fucking soul right now. It's time to blow up, Leo. It's time to allow yourself to blow up. It's time to take who you are and nurture it and love it, and don't be afraid of letting other people see it. Don't be afraid of embodying the fucking sun, who you are. It's a transformative month for you, Leo, profoundly. And if you do practice any kind of modality, then I think going into, you know, a bit of shadow work would do you the world of good this month. Identify what is this restriction, what stops you from doing everything that I just laid out there. Because it's time for it to go. So, if this reading has resonated with you, I'm going over to Vimeo now. Feel free to join me. Link is in the description box. If not, take care. Know that I love you all very, very much, and I will see you soon.